Right then, welcome back to Narnia, the Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. So, last time, if you remember, that I did over very good 2 levels complete. And speaking of which, there was one of them that was a bit more trickier for you, to be honest. But I did give you some guidances of bits and pieces what you can do. As well as we have got the Great River. But before we do the Great River, what I'm going to do is remind you what I did do was, of course, do 2 levels, as I said before, which has been completed, which was this one right in the middle, which was the Frozen Lake, and of course complete this one right here, which is through the Tunner, whatever that spells to be exactly. As well as, you probably want the sound a little bit down so you can hear me. There we go. So sorry about that if I was disappointing your day of listening to that for a little bit. But yeah, I did those 2. As well as speaking of with those 2, what I did do, especially this one down here in this corner that I'm on now, I did give you some guidances of how you can complete it, and of course some bits and pieces that has to be done. Depends on the game itself of which path it wants to go, like as in where you had the wolves, the beaver been taken from where he's got to bite through some wood tree trunks kind of thing, where the children have got to be safe and free without the wolves catching them. But you've also got some other criminal, which are some tall, thin, or chubby things that wants to push a rock over. And like I said, it's all random from whichever direction the game wants to play. It will either decide to take Mr. Beaver away from there, or either it might want you to go and stop the wolves from breaking through the fence, or either the things that likes to push the rock over. It just depends on how the game wants to play. But yeah, of course there's a fair few statues on that level, and a fair load of shields that has been collected. And speaking of which, that one with the shields, you will have to stay in a certain area, roughly hereabouts, and just try and keep whacking the enemies, the thin ones, and just try and stay in that spot and wait for some more to come down for you to kick the shit out of them, and eventually you'll get a couple of shields, and you're basically looking at 11 of those. And of course you're going to have to play 2 tunes, which would be one with the stone rocks, or yeah, let's say rocks, and then they turn into statues for you to whack in, and you'll get a couple of statues. As well as, of course, the music tune to get 2 shields from as well. And I'll give you some guidances about that as well. And also what I did do is also finish this one right here. I finished this one right here, which is LANTERN, as well as, of course, WASTE, whatever that spells to be exactly. And so I did that one. And of course, what we'll do is a couple of the other ones as well that has to be completely finished so far, which is this one here, which is Beaver Den. We've got that one to do. And of course we have got this one right here, which is to the Western or West TRN wood. Whatever it spells to be exactly as well. We've got that one to do. So what we'll do is go to this one over here, which is a river at Beaver Den. Now what I have done was buy one thing, which I'll go through some details about that in any minute soon. And yeah, the wardrobe is opened up again. Right, also what I'm going to do is remind you a few little bits and pieces on this level as well. Sooner or later.
Blimey, looks like the old girl's got the kettle on. Nice cup of rosy Lee. Lovely. Now it's nearly a trough, you know. Still plenty to do, ain't quite finished it yet. Yeah, a lot of business when it is though.
And yeah, the ogre's back. And as Mr. Beaver will say, he's got me. And he's going to roar you. Right, and before we do anything else, of course, we do have four shields on the right hand side of the screen for you to collect in this level, as I've already got four. I've already got one, and of course in the middle of the screen and at the bottom there are some shields, and we've only got one. And the music's going off, but I don't see why, because it shouldn't be. But what we'll do is try and get it to stay still, just like that. There we go. That's better. That's better. Okay, yeah. So you got to get 6 statues and 4 shields. And we've already got one at the moment. And of course, 1 shield. One statue. Right, basically with the statue, there is one way you can get one, is doing something, as well as another thing to get another shield from. Okay, so now then, we are going to go back to a couple of details and bits and pieces. Right then, okay, so you've got Peter, Susan, and of course you've got Edmund, and of course Lucy. Now each one of these sets of children will have a special capability, and basically the capability will allow them to do all sorts of things by teaming themselves together, as well as, on top of everything else, the prices of each one of these children will have their own prices, but not quite all of them. And what I mean by that is that if you look at where Lucy is at the minute, there is one of them that will say Braveheart, all children, for 50 quid. And the next one down below it, which will be Wolf, TAME, And basically when you pay for that, Lucy will have it. And of course with the Braveheart, when you pay for it, for 50 quid, all the children will have it. And you don't have to pay 3 times on each one of these children. So you won't have to do any of that stuff at all. But also with one person that I will mention again, was that we'll go straight to the oldest girl out there, apart from Lucy's the youngest. Right, so the thing I did buy was, of course, this one right here, which was for 50 quid, and it is spelt to be for DW, or it's spelt for, or shall we say, it is going to be called DRYADS, and of course it's going to have MELY, oh dear, sorry, MELODY. Now basically what that'll do is allow you to play a music tune, and you can get a free shield from somewhere, and wherever it's hidden. So that's what I paid for last time, and it was for 50 quid for you to do that, as well as on my previous recording that I did do before my last one, was I paid for this one as well, which is Stone Song, which was for 50 quid, as well as you could find a rock of some kind, and when you play the tune, it will reveal where the statue's hiding, and that's what that'll do. And of course, on my last recording, we did get some things from Father Christmas. And of course, for Susan, we did get IVORY horn for free. And of course, a gift bow from Father Christmas. As well as, of course, you start with, on the 5th level, you'll get the PANPIPES. You'll get that, which is basically your circle button to play the music, basically. And of course, the other thing that the other children did get on my last recording, which will be Peter, which will be a gift sword for you to use in the game when you get to a certain level, that I did do last time. And of course, you'd have nothing for Edmund, and Lucy would have had Fireflower with, of course, CORDIAL, whatever it spells to be exactly, and so you would have had that. As well as, of course, with the Fireflower, it's basically going to give you a bit more, less chance of keep pushing the circle button. So basically what I mean by that is, if you haven't gone past the level that I did do last time, you're probably only going to be pushing the circle button for the children's health to go all the way back up by pushing it only 5 or 6 times. But when you get the Firefly, you can probably only about push it 3 times instead of doing even more times pushing the circle button when you really need to top their health bar back up. And so that's basically that for that, really. As well as, what we will do is go through a couple of things that are available, which is Braveheart, which will allow you to top one of the health bars of the children's health bar to be a bit more bigger, because you'll have 4 filled up and 4 available for you to use these to fill up each one of the remaining 4 circles to be filled up completely to one side to the other, unless you collect it or get hold of it. And of course we have got Wolf Bane, if that's what Bane is spelled to be, and that's for 50 quid, same as the Braveheart thing. Lion's Lamp, or Lep, if that's what Leap is spelled to be, but that's 100 quid. And also, basically for that one, Peter can have that one, and I'm pretty sure Edmund can have it as well. Yes, he can. But also, once again, when you pay for it, you don't have to pay it again on the other person, because they can use that one on their own. Now with Team Attack, you can team up Susan for you to use this, unless you pay for it, for 50 quid to do a nice little thing. And another nice bit of health for you to have all the children to have, which is going to be VALIANT, Heart All Children, far as I can sense for the spelling of that one. And of course we have got GHOUL, Bane. I'm pretty sure that's what BANE is about to be again. So that's also for 50 quid. And I believe that is for Edmund as well. And of course, Lion's Claw, if that's what CLAW is about to be. But that is 100 quid for you to pay for. But I haven't paid for absolutely nothing since the other bits and pieces. And also the last thing, Phoenix, Heart All Children. But we still need one more. And once again for Susan, Braveheart, Team Attack, full CIRCLE for 100 quid. But Edmund can use that with Susan. That's 100 quid, don't forget. Now you've got HAWK Speed, which is basically the arrows, so fire a bit more quicker. That's a 50 quid. And also of course the heart one as well, the VA word that I read out, that's for 50. But once you pay for it, you'd have to pay it again on every single children. Also you've got Rain of Fire for 200 quid, but only Lucy and Susan can do that one, unless you want to pay for 200. Also you got Fast Reload, which is for 50 quid, for allow you to get the arrows to load up a bit more quicker than usual, as well as the Phoenix Heart thing as well, don't forget. And of course all of these things I have read out, which is all the same thing as what Peter's got, for those two to use those kind of things. And also Lucy's got other things as well. Wolf, TAME, 50 quid. And of course I'm going to skip those. Rain of Fire, don't forget that thing can work with Susan as well when you pay for 200 quid. You've got GHOUL Tane, if that's what TANME is supposed to be. So this one is about a specific criminal. This is also another criminal as well, which is BOGGLE Tane, if that's what TAME is supposed to be, but that's 100 quid. Also the Phoenix Heart thing as well. Okay, right, so what we're going to do is allow you to know where you can find the bits and pieces, basically, just to get this level out of the way. Right, so first of all, what we want to do is go and walk around the place and possibly get some arrows. for Susan. As well as possibly you want to go over towards this over here, where you'll find Edmund's little sharp whacking stick as well. Right, also what you want to do is, of course, as you can see, the green bar or a green circle at the top bit of the middle. As well as if you look on the left hand side where Peter symbol is, on the left hand side of the screen there, that will say that's your health bar. And also basically what you want to do is just try and keep it up as long as you can. As well as, of course, what you want to do with some of these criminals, what you want to do is just keep on top of them for a bit and make sure they give you a bit of health, which is what you want. And of course, if you keep on top of whacking the criminal, then eventually some pluses will pop up. Also, you might want to keep whacking the ogre as well. I believe there's a specific way you can do some other bits and pieces without dying, but there's a specific thing I'm trying to do because I'm trying to work out what you're supposed to do with something else, which I would presume it's something else. Right, so first of all, what you want to do is smack a barrel and another barrel where you can find your second shield. Also, what you want to do is play the music tune for Susan, which will be a shield tune, and just about hit the right notes at the right time before those things kept fucking nudging me away from that circle, which is what you don't want to do. Also, you'll find a statue over in that corner where I was, or just a few seconds ago. There's also another one over here. Also, what we're going to do is try and get some of these bits out of the way first, while some bits and pieces will come along and get in your way. So that's the same sort of thing what you're going to have to do. Right, also don't forget you're going to need to make sure that you collect as many of the statues and the music tune and everything else before you do have a checkpoint to save. And also I fucking died again, but that is fine with me. Also, what I should do is wait for a minute before I do anything stupid. So, further ado. So yeah, take all these things out. Excuse me, you bag of shit. Excuse me, you piece of shit. Okay, so, like I say, you want to do these things first. As well as, don't forget, on my second, before my last recording, I think it was, that I played a music tune for the statue that was being found and whacked a while ago. So once you've done that bit and got the game completely done, you don't have to do any of that bullshit ever again. Right, also I pushed the circle button for some reason, I don't know why, but I've obviously pushed buttons by accident. But I'm going to, yes, it hasn't been, okay, that's why, that's what's putting me off. Okay, further ado. So, Susan's in a bit of spot bob, but she'll live. Where is it? It's over there. No, she ain't gonna live. Ah. Right, okay. There we go, get that piece of shit out of the way. So sorry if I'm doing the same boring thing, but it has to be done. It has to be done. Right, so there's those. Let's get this other shield out of this barrel, which is what you want to do. Excuse me, can I just fucking get out of the way, please? And once again, sorry for the language, but yeah, sometimes this thing can be a bit of a nuisance. As long as you know what you're doing in bits and pieces. Did I just do that thing? Yep. Good. For goodness sake. There. Happy now? Feeling much better now, Susan? Right, okay, so that's that bit done. Right. Okay. I don't know what I've fucking done that as well, but oh well. I'm quite happy with that. Okay, right. First of all, let's just concentrate with two other things first. Right, what you want to do is get Lucy to ride on the back of him and get Edmund or Peter back on the charge of whacking the ogre. And eventually, Mr. Beaver's going to be slung across. Right, so this might be the next bit of the puzzle that I'm thinking of how to do this one. It's been a little while since I've done it, but yeah. Right, okay. Doing that. Right. Okay. Right, so basically what you want to do is just do Lucy first, and then Edmund, and then Peter, and then Susan. But first of all, like you saw, that I was doing a couple of bits and pieces with Peter, and just whacking the shit out of him. And basically that's what you're going to have to do first, before you do Lucy, which would be the best top idea, what you're supposed to do. Right, also next of all, you'll find some dudes on where the beaver's house is, and basically they're going to fire arrows at you. So what you want to do, first of all, give them a couple of arrows to nudge them off, and the only way you can tell when they're off is if you listen carefully when they say hey. And I'll be saying hey in a minute if that thing keeps kicking the shit out of me. But yeah, that's all you got to do. And the only way you can tell when you're accurate is if a sparkle sits on top of where everybody is. Right, okay. So once again, once you've done that bit, what you want to do next is get Evans involved with it, get Peter involved again to kick the shit out of the ogre without fucking dying. Which I'm going to go straight over to him. Right, now there's 4 full sets of heal pieces to fill up the family's health bar back up again. And there'll be 2 on the right and 2 on the left. Right, next of all, above you, what you can do is try and go round and round the beaver, the ogre, a couple of times to kick the shit out of him, and then get Edmund to do a bit or something else, but that didn't work. Right, so once that bit's all dealt with, what you're going to have to do is go around again and resort the things that wants to chuck arrows at you, because what they're going to do is get Lucy nudged off or the beaver off, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be Lucy. the youngest child, which is a shame, really. It's always the poor young one that has to get the arse kicking. Okay, right, so once again, there is a specific way you can do this. And what I mean by that is to try and get around the beaver, get around the ogre a couple of times. What have I got in for? Oh well. But also with this thing, when you've got Lucy on top of the head, sometimes you might want to keep whacking the ogre a couple of times. There's something else you got to do with this thing. There's something else that I'm not quite working out at the minute, but there is something you've got to do. I'll explain to you soon when I've figured it out. But yes, there is something you got to do to get a shield. But I've got several things to fire up against at the same time, so it's probably going to put me off a little bit. So that's why I'm having some bits and pieces been overdone. So we'll get somewhere, I promise. Right. Maybe you might need a lot more health first before you can actually get the shield off him. Probably you want to get right behind him or around the side of him before you can actually get it. Or it could be Susan that might help you get it. Because usually when Edmund and Lucy are on there, it would possibly give it to you. It's something like that you got to do on this bit to get the shield. My memory is just absolutely gone blank on me at the moment. Oh, there's Edmund. There he is. Right. Also, what we want to do is push the R1 button a couple of times before you can actually get to the right person. Right, so there's that bit. But yeah, like I said, you've got all the statues. And of course you've got all of the other things as well. Apart from that final shield. Also, Edmund can have the large health pack bit. Right, also, probably you might want possibly to try and get the small midgets that's on the ground with you and try and get them to come around the ogre. I think that's what you need to do, is try and get as many of these things around you and around where the ogre is to get that shield. That's the only thing I can think of how you can. There it is. There it is. So you've got to do something like that. Right, now all I've got to do is not freaking die. Oh, get off. Right, so it's something like that you got to do. Oh, I'm pushing the wrong buttons. Right, also don't forget the aiming. L1 and press the square. Sod off. Right, also with the people that's up where the beaver's house is, you're going to need to fire about 4 arrows to get them off and die. But Susan's just about to die in a minute, so I'm going to try and move a little bit and possibly just get close to... Oh, oh shit. What did I say? Right. Nope. Alright. So yeah, that's what will happen. And have I still got the... No, I haven't. Okay, so what we'll do is the same thing. Wait for a couple of these things that's running around all over the place. Wait for them to come to you first. Then kick the shit out of them. And then kick the shit out of the ogre. That's the only thing I can sense how you can get the shield. That's the only way you can get it. So as I've done that successfully, and I fucked up by getting her dead, but it's all down to skill on this thing. Right, wait for these things to come to me. And then, once they do, get Peter to kick the shit out of these. Also, like I say, you want to try and get around from behind him and everywhere else. And the only way you can tell when you're close is if he stays still as well. That's the other bit to it. But still, if I did the bit I was close of doing, then I would have done it. But I didn't. Ow. Not the oldest. Thank you. I'll have a bit of that. Right, so ignore what the characters on top of his head. Ignore that. I'm not going to kill Peter that soon. So basically, you just got to try and get the other criminals, like these, that's around the ogre. Try and get them around him. And kick the shit out of it and kicking shit out of those. Right, okay, so that's enough of that, right. So you've got to do something like that. Oh, for fuck's sake, you've got to fucking die on me. Oh. Why? We'll get there. We'll get there. I promise. Or unless it's you just got to keep kicking the shit out of the small ones instead of the ogre himself. Also, this might knacker your fingers out, but as long as you got the L3 move in the right place and everything else, give us that. There we are. Oh, it's those. Yeah, so it's those things, not the ogre. It's not him. Right, so as that's been dealt with, right, once again, Susan, don't you do that on me. Right, so once that's dealt with, take out the 4 midgets that's throwing arrows at you. Ow. Don't even think about it. Oh, I'm coming, Susan. I'm coming. Stay on. Stay on in there. Right, there's one. So once again, once you hear the hype, they're dead. Nope. Move. You dead? Yeah, that's dead. 2 left. And we're almost there. Ooh. Sometimes this thing can knock you out. Get it off. Excuse me. That's 1 dead. 1 left. So that's all you gotta do. Is try and get as many of these little small turds around you. And then just do it like that. Can I have a bit of help, please? Nope. Right, you can have that. Right, I'll follow you, Susan. You better freaking run. And give you that. And get Peter involved. Whack the shit out of these. Excuse me. Excuse me. Right, as long as you move Susan all over the place. And get Susan to spin around all over the place. And then he'll be dead. There we go. That was a pain in the neck.
They're taking him to the witch's house. You know when they say there's few that go through them gates that come out again.
Chips. But there's hope, dear. Lots of hope.
Oh, yeah, there's a right bit more than hope. Aslan is on the move.
Who's Aslan?
He's only the king of the whole wood.
He's been away for a long while.
But he's back, and he's waiting for you at the stone table.
He's waiting for us.
There's a prophecy.
It has long been foretold that 2 sons of Adam and 2 daughters of Eve will defeat the White Witch and restore peace to Narnia.
I think you made a mistake. We're not heroes.
We're from Finchley.
You can't just leave.
He's right. We have to help Mr. Tumnus.
I'm sorry. It's time the 4 of us were getting home. Ed? Ed?
Oh dear.
I'm gonna kill him.
You may not have to. Has Edmund ever been to Narnia before?
Too true. Or maybe he has. Who knows? But there you go. Level complete. With now the other 3 shields. That was the one I did have. As was the final 5 statues. And 14 pence collected. And now, all down to the ranking. Which gives us... Well, that sucks, didn't it? Seeing that paw sitting there. And also I thought we'll have a bit of tune as well. So, hope it's not put you off or anything else. And we've got 1,805 pence. Okay. Right. Now then. There is some things that are probably not worth paying for right now, because there's nothing else that are available. But once again, once you process into the game even further, you'll be able to get some other bits and pieces for you to pay for if you really want them. Really? Okie dokie. So there's that level done. And of course, what we'll do next of all, as you have seen that one done, let's move on to this one next of all, which will be to Western Wood, if that's what Western is spelled to be. So we're going to do that one next to find 15 statues and the remaining other 26 shields are. Also, as you can see on the right hand side, we've already got 40 statues. So let's go and collect some more, shall we? And also, once again, with this game, I'm going to try my very hardest for you to get a 100% walkthrough, as well as explaining a couple of bits and pieces how you can do them, and other bits and pieces as well that is close to being straightforward to do. So once this loads up, and then we're ready to rock. So I hope you're enjoying this so far, because I believe I am.
Bird just us. It's a beaver.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. I ain't gonna smell it if that's what you want. Lucy Pevensey.
That's nothing he gave to Mr.
Thomas. He got it to me just before I took it.
Is he alright?
Further in.
And also, you might have noticed there is some cutscenes just like the film itself. So yeah, that's the other reason why I'm doing these ones again, just to remind you in bits and pieces of other things that's been done. So that's roughly where I'm getting at. Okay, right, so first of all then. Right, you'll find a statue right over it. For your first 1 out of 5, 1 out of 15. Next door, you'll find yourself to get Peter or Edmund to Eva, give us a nice 10 pence, a couple of other pennies, and also Edmund will have a stick, and of course a 10 pence coin that was right beside that other barrel that I whacked first. And of course you'll find your second statue over there, and also you will find the other one, which will be your third one. Right, also what you want to do is get Susan to throw snowballs at these fires, and basically what you want to do is sometimes you want to just keep L1 button pushed in and just keep slapping that square button and just keep doing it until the whole red circle goes all the way around. And yeah, that little thing right there is basically, yeah, Thomas's little horn that he played in the film with Lucy in his house. You probably already sussed out what that was all about, but if not, well, basically the reason why was to hand a children or a child that is not really a fawn or a wolf or a centaur or a lion or a other kind of animal, possibly, but that's basically it, really. So that is the story behind that, and sorry for that little vibration going off there. Anyway, so yeah, right, so now this little thing that you can pick up in this level when you reach it, you can play music. As I said before, you can play music, which will be 3 specific things, which I will demonstrate when you first pick up this one. And when you press the circle, there's a blue circle And when you stand quite close to it, nope, missed the tune button, hit the panic button. So if I do this correctly, without getting nudged in the way. So let's try again. Ah! Also, you got to be fucking quick as well. So let's try this again while the other ones are disturbing them. What it should do, make them fall asleep. Right, also you'll find 2 statues right beside each other. Also Susan's getting stuck, but that's fine with me for now. So yeah, that's what that'll do. That's one thing of the music thing you can use. And also 2 others, which is once again one that you can pay for 50 quid, which will allow you to give yourself a nice chance of finding your special shield. And the other thing is to reveal where your statues are hiding. And that's just basically the thing that the music tunes will make. Also, Susan, you're going to get freaking kicked in again. So we're not going to allow that to happen. Right, also what you can do is get Edmund or Peter to smash the sofa or table tops or whatever house furniture it is. Right, also you can play some music in this area, but before I do, you'll find one statue over here, another statue over here, and of course once again music, once again play the tune, which will be a red circle one this time, which will give you square, X, circle and X, which will reveal the statue, as well as with the blue one, which is basically a music tune that will allow you to know that you can make enemies fall asleep. And basically that's what that one's all about, basically. Right, once again, get Susan to throw snowballs. Just kick the L1 button and keep square, but also if the actually throws itself away from somewhere, use the L3 and just move it to an angle for a sparkle bit to go on to the bit of the furniture to throw the snowball and smash it, basically. Or once the fire's out, you could get Peter or Edmund to whack it and smash it, basically. That's the way you can do that. And the path is blocked, as he says, Mr. Beaver.
Children, I'll have to clear us a path. Keep watch while I chew through the trees.
Right, now then. This time, what you're going to need to do is first get Edmund or Peter with their own whacking stick, whoever you want to use, and smack a statue that's over the other side of there, and get your stick lit ready, as well as smack the statue over there. Right, also what you want to do is stand behind this rock where I am, so your fire stick doesn't die out. And then what you want to do is stand by these little bits of dry wood and just keep walking around and around to light each one of these paths of a bit of dry bark. And then what you want to do is just kick the shit out of the ones that's out, but also what you don't want to do is not whack the wolf that'll be where the beaver is. And the reason why is because you got some stuff to do, like whacking the statues and as you can see on the right hand side of the screen, there's a tingle sound like that to say you found a shield. So basically what you're going to have to do is repeat after and over and over and over and over. Again and again and again. Basically, that's what you're going to have to do, I'm afraid. Once again, with the stick of your fire, if it dies out when you've been standing far too far away from the hole where you can stop your special stick that won't die out. Also, what you can do is get Mr. Beaver to go a bit more further from the left hand side to the right first if you want, but make sure it doesn't go too far over the right hand side. And also on the left hand side, you'll start from one side and he's got to make his way over to the other side. Right, once again, I'm a bit concerned of something. Pay attention. Whoa, could have fucked that up. I could have fucked that up. Okay, so basically, once again, make sure that Beaver doesn't reach over to the other side. Right, so for now, once again, you can start attacking the other wolves, but leave the other wolf by the tree trunk where Mr. Beaver is. So leave that alone. Don't touch anything else. Okay. So once again, same sort of sound again. Now what you want to do is make that reach number 25. That is the number you need. Wait for it to reach 25 and then finish it off. That's all that's needed. Okay, that's all you got to do. Also, the wind will continue for about 5 seconds or 6 seconds precisely, that kind of time. Right, so there's 25 just to show you. Oh, maybe it's 26. Oh, could be 28 then. Obviously thinking too far ahead, so I think it must be 27. See, I haven't played this for a while, so it's just re-jogging my memory of a couple of bits and pieces. So I think it's probably about 28. So let's just double check it. Yeah, so it's 28. 28 shields you can collect out of this bit of dry wood for you to burn and stop the wolves from coming in. And once you've done that, what you can do is go over it.
Watch out! Wolf!
There's another one!
But I could be correct. Hang on. Let me just double check my mind while I'm doing these wolves. Right. Okay, so that bit I have just done with burning the bits of dry wood to stop the wolves coming in. There are 25. There are 25 of them. And then with the other 4, to make 29, I will explain to you where they are very soon. So just sorry if I've confused you in bits and pieces, but everybody makes mistakes, don't they? Okay, so what you want to do is whack a barrel over there, and you'll find some arrows in this area for you to kick the shit out of these things that likes to throw arrows. And there's 3 of those. Also, what you want to do is let go of L1 so you can get Susan to walk away before an arrow hits up. That could be 4 actually. Okay, so there's those. Right, so next of all then, well, what you want to do is get Edmund or Susan to attach onto Lucy when she stops walking around all over the place and getting my bloody way. And then press the square for Susan to be slinging her across towards these broken tiles. Or icicle things, what are they up? But I'm pretty sure they're icicles. And then that turns for a bit of bridge for you to go across. But before you do go across the bridge, what you want to do is get Lucy to go down it, and you'll find a shield. That's where you'll get your 26th. Okay, so there's the 26th. Once again, this time we want to go across the bridge. And also you'll find some more arrows for you to collect for Susan to throw. And also, once again, you're probably looking at 4 arrows to hit at each one of these. No, it's 3 actually. 3 arrows to kick the shit out of these before they say hey. So again, there's 3. Hey! As they would say. Right, also you'll find a statue over it. So there's your 12. Right, what you want to do next is get Edmund to attach onto Lucy and drag her across the place. Because if you don't, let me demonstrate. So if you do this, get P up or Edmund or Susan to walk across. Yeah, she'll do that. Say, oi, I'm over here. Don't leave me. Please don't. Because she's too small to go down slopey, high mountains. And here he is, the ogre.
Susan, use your panpipes. They'll send the ogre to sleep. Be careful not to get too close.
And the ogre name, you probably remember watching Shrek. Okay, right, first of all, what you do not want to do is go towards him. And why? Yeah, he's going to roar at you. And probably give you a bit of an upset stomach or something. So once you've done all that by accident, just do the same thing what you just did. I'm just doing all this just to demonstrate how you can fuck up. Also, once again, what you want to do is do not leave these around it, because if you do, sun signs, they might go and hit him while you're gonna do something, which I will show you in a moment. And you probably already sussed it,
Hi, it's an ogre.
unless you've watched my other recordings of doing this level.
Susan, use your panpipes. They'll send the ogre to sleep. Be careful not to get too close.
Okay, so the pan pods. Right. So, once again, let's try and get these other kids to bloody move. Right, so the circle button is required with the blue circle with the symbol saying play the music sleeping tune. So this is what this one is for. So press the triangle, X, square, circle, and the lovely good night. Okay, so you would have had your 26 shields. You would have 28, and the way you can get it is if you would go across this one here that I'm going to walk across without walking in the water. So you have 2 shields, one on either side of him. One on the left, one on the right. To make 28. Okay. So that's how you can do that. Right. There's no more fuck up this time. But yeah. Also, you don't want to stand too close or stay there for far too long. Because otherwise, yeah, you'll fall in. Right. So, further ado.
Hide! It's an ogre! Susan, use your panpipes. They'll send the ogre to sleep. Be careful not to get too close.
He's humming at me. Right, it's the same again. Triangle, X, square, circle, and X. He snores. Okay, so yeah, once again, there'll be a shield on top of the one that's going to break. So you'll find one there. And of course, you'll find one on the other side, which is the one that's going to break. Oh, for heaven's sake. But yeah, it'll be on those 2. Okay, it'll be on there. Those are where you'll find the 28 in total for you to collect. Right. You're not dead yet. Oh. What's we got on? That could have been a disaster. God, I fucking remember that. I could have made a freaking mess out of that. So yeah, make sure you don't do that.
Hide! It's an ogre! Susan, use your panpipes. They'll send the ogre to sleep. Be careful not to get too close.
Yeah. Don't get too close. But not this time. We're not having none of that bullshit, are we? Good night. Sleep tight. So yeah. One shield will be the one I've just walked on. Which I'll try again. So one will be on that one. Over there. In the middle of that one. And the other one will be the one on top of the one that's going to break there. Okay, so that's where it will be. To make 28. And something's pushed those rocks over. And some more walls are going to freaking turn up. How rude. Okay, so what you want to do first is go and get Edmund or Peter or Susan linked up together, whichever. And of course, walk around and light a bit of dry tree trunk and press the square to swing Edmund and Peter, but basically swing Edmund all over the place. I've got Lucy to get tangled up. Oh well. Oh, well. And get Peter or Susan or Edmund to swing around and then get that bit broken off. Right, then what you want to do is get Lucy to go in this little hole where her symbol is and press the square 3 times. And then a bit of that will fill the hole up. And then what you want to do next is get Susan to fire 3 arrows to break a bit of rock or whatever that is to fill that hole up. And then yeah, the ogre's going to wake it up, so you're going to have to get all 4 to hide. Edmund will be over there on the left, Lucy will be on the right behind this one, Susan will be behind this one, and of course Peter would be over there, wouldn't he? So he's going to have to hide over here. And of course you get a couple of 10-pence coins as well. And he's going to roar off and stomp off. Right, so before you go any further, what you want to do is press the circle button where a bit of a red colour will pop up. Press the X at the right time when you find it, when you're standing in the circle bit. Then press the square, X, circle and X, and eventually you'll find another statue for you to whack, which will be your 14th. And then press the circle again, where you find a green symbol, where you can press the square, triangle, circle and a triangle, and eventually you'll find your 29th shield. And that's all there is to it. But also with the blue stick thing that's over there, it'll be a bit more sharper and a bit more powerful for you to whack your enemies with. And also, you'll find these things that's going to climb up the tree trunks. Basically, yeah, you're going to have to kick the fucking shit out of them. And there's going to be a few of those. So when you get close up, they'll find a way of dropping down. So basically what you want to do is walk away. And then you'll be all good. Because they'll be stomping the ground to hurt you with. So as long as you move out of the way a little bit. And then the stomp on the ground won't knock your health down. Just like I did. Just walked a bit too close or just didn't quite walk away soon enough. Right, also you'll find the time limit up above in the middle of the screen there. Saying the ogre's awake again, or either he's on his way. From somewhere. Where would he be? Where would he be? That's the question. Where is he? He's coming. Right. Next. Once you deal with all these, when, of course, the circle at the top of the middle of the screen there will allow some of these people to hide, which is what you want to do. But before you do anything else, get Susan, Edmund or Lucy, or just get one of the boys to hide away first. And then go to the statue right here and smack that, and there's your 15th. And then, of course, press the X. Here he is. Here he is. Well, Georgie Henley seems a bit scared, doesn't she? Being Lucy. Don't blame her. And there we are. 29 shields. 15 statues. And 173 coins found. Including none spent. Ranking's going to say for us to have. Good? Really? Good? Oh, so that's a load of bullshit to me. What do you reckon? But if that's what it wants to give me, then fine. Right. Also, I am not just going to pay for nothing because there's nothing that I really want. But it's all down to you. You can do whatever you want. You can pay for whatever and when is the right time for you to do that. And also, I think we will have enough time for another thing to do, I think. Which, I think, we will do a thing on this, in this draw. And of course, probably tomorrow, we will do the Great River, I think. As well as we've got 55 statues and 1,978 coins so far to use. But I'm not going to say anything else just yet about the statues. But if you played the game before, you know exactly what they're for. Right, so we're going to have a look in this drawer. And of course, you've got some movie clips, which will be involving Peter, the actor of William, whoever the actual surname of William to be Peter. Susan with Anne somebody. And whoever does Edmund, I haven't got no idea. Forgotten completely. And Georgie Henley to be Lucy. And we've also got bonus level 2 Western Wood. Movie Making of Narnia. Bonus level ALLIES, and of course ENCLAVE. That's available. Movie, of course, storyboards, whatever that is. And another bonus level, Frozen Lake. And of course, we've got something coming up, which will be a movie. And of course, we've got to reach 54%. Right, so what we're going to do, we're going to go and do a bonus level. How about that? For you to know. So what we're going to do is do this one at the top here, which is to the Western Wood. I'm pretty sure that's what the WESTERN Wood is supposed to be. And what I'm going to do is explain to you how this one works when we get in. Right, now this one is basically a timed level. Basically what you got to do is make sure that you just kick the enemies and beat them up before the time runs out. And don't die, basically. Right, also there'll be a couple of enemies that will throw the arrows. So you want to kick the shit out of them as quick as you can. And you don't want Susan to die either, because she's a slow little monkey, to be honest. Oh, get off. Oh, alright. Okay. So basically what you're going to do is try and get rid of the wolves as quick as possible. Oh. Yeah, you want to hurt Susan, yeah? Right, so what are you? If you get some enemies to give you a bit of red, then you could try and get Edmund or Susan to get it, but especially Edmund that has got his health all the way up. And make sure that when some bits of the health things pop up on the floor, make sure you just don't walk into it. Basically. And of course, just make sure you keep pressing the square for Edmund. There's you. Oh, good catch. Right. Susan's fixed. Right, so that's them dealt with. Now all I gotta do is kick the shit out of these. But I could be wrong with fighting up against all of these. You just gotta stay alive. Which I'm presuming that's what you've got to do. Is stay alive. It's got to be something like that you got to do, but I'm pretty sure it is. You got to stay alive. Nope. Whoops. So yeah, like I say, I'm pretty sure you've got to stay alive. That's all there is to it. And also this level is over 2 minutes. And this thing could possibly hurt your hands for a while. So as long as you've got muscles and everything else, then you're okay. But also what I'm going to do is possibly have a couple of goes at this level. You not pick one of those up yet? Clearly not. So yeah, like I said, I haven't played this game for a while, so some bits and pieces will jog my memory eventually to remind me what you're supposed to do. Oh, why haven't I freaking done that? Oh well. So yeah, I'm just 100% or 50% thinking that you have to just stay alive, but I could be wrong that you have to kill these at the same time. But we've still got 1 minute and 8, so I'm just going to have to hope and pray that I am correct, that you have to stay alive. Also, Susan going to freaking die in it. So, probably I would say I'm going to leave her, screw her, and just make sure that the time runs out. And hope and pray that I can keep Edmund alive. As well as if his health goes down, that they'll send a red thing to me. So we've got 22 seconds left. Oh, let's have that. Maybe not. Good sure I catch that just at the right time. 5 seconds. So see if I was correct. But you have to stay alive. And yes, you have to stay alive and just kick the shit out of them. Don't worry about the fire and arrow duties. Because if you're using Susan all the time and fighting up against those bow and arrow sods, and you got a load of those ones on the ground, then you can get your ass kicked in. So don't do that. So just carry on what you're doing. Use use Edmund, and you can just use a bit of Susan just to get her to spin around all over the place to help you with getting some health if it will allow you to have some. And just a few little bits and pieces like that if you need to. Okay, so that's all you got to do with that one. So there's that one for you. And possibly we could do another bonus level. And just hoping for I can complete it, as well as some other little bits and pieces that will allow me to have a bit of a safe space for it to be close for another day for you to see some more. Okay, right, this time what you're going to have to do is attack several enemies, which are specific ones, as once again, stay alive. Right, so what you got to do is fight up against 5 wolves this time, but above you, stay alive, and basically Susan is the one that's going to cause you a freaking problem. But like I said, when you kill some enemies, make sure that the health bar of whoever will come along. Right, the symbol in the middle of the screen will tell you which enemies that you have to deal with. And basically the one that comes next, which will be not the chunky ones, but the ones that will be, let me just try and, right, so the ones I'm whacking at the minute, not the wolf, not these big dudes, but these ones here that's coming out now on the right hand side of the screen where I've got Pia. These ones. You got to deal with those. Also, you got the circle button for a bit more power to whack a bit more harder. Right, this time you've got 8 of these things that's coming from the right hand side where I am. And of course you've got some wolves to deal with, which are 6 of them. Also what you can do is basically just stay over here for the wolves to come in. Oh, bit of health there. Right, also there'll be some arrows dudes around here as well. Don't forget. So also what you want to do is keep moving a bit. As long as you keep moving around all over the place a bit while they're there. And then you should be unscathed. But like I said, Susan might be a problem. As long as you've got the skills of making a move. Right, now you've got 8 of the chubby sods, which are the ones that will be on the left hand side over here, where one's just popped up at the bottom of the screen. So you'll be dealing with those. Next. And once again, you have to stay alive. Oh. So you got to do all of that again. So this level could be an issue for me to deal with, but it is all doable as long as you've got plenty of time and not much of a issue with bits and pieces, but also the time is kicking in. So what we'll do is exit here for today. So that's what we'll do, is end it here. And also we will try and find a way to save this thing, which I would have said I will just try and go to an area which would be this one here, just in case. Yeah, it's very, very dark. So yeah, that's what we're going to do for now, is just do this one. But what I'm going to do is skip all the bits and pieces with the cutscenes and bits and pieces that just has to be done. And just be as quick as I can. So what I'm going to do is exactly that.
Oh, Edmund, you got in too. It's so wonderful. Where have you been? Mr. Thomas, are you alright? You look awful.
Well, what do you expect? I mean, it's freezing. How do we get out of here?
Right, so don't forget that you need to get a stick. And of course, the other bit is get this little barrel. And of course, push it with Edmund. Well, try and get Edmund to push it all the way to hit and press the square to smack that. And then you'll get a shield from over there. That's how you can get one. And of course, press the square a couple of times, press the circle on this bit, break the square again, a couple of bits, and piece will break. And of course, make sure you pick up these little things again. Also, you want to smack that barrel into that thing, press X, and of course, get L3 up and get him to walk all the way from over there. Get your stick, lit, burn that bit. Get Lucy to walk onto this snowball. And just get her to go there a bit. What you want to do is just press the X button. And get yourself to stand on top of this with Lucy. Press the square when you push the triangle to get her to slide across there. And I believe there was either a nice shield standing up here, I believe. I could be wrong from my memory. But once you've done that bit, what you want to do is get your stick lit and just walk across it. And also you'll find a shield up on top of it when you light your stick from up there. Then what you want to do, drag Lucy all the way across with L3, because once again she won't go down it. Right, also what you want to do is get a shield by burning all these, and then eventually press the circle once, press the square a couple of times, and then walk all the way up here. And then what we're going to do is skip those bits. And of course, get this bit saved. And then we'll do some more tomorrow or whenever. And of course, we're going to get the still are flipping good and all. How convenient. How convenient. Anyway, that is just how the fucking game wants to play on me. So there we go, we're going to save it here this time, because the only trouble with the bonus levels, you can't save it until you completed it. as well as you're going to have to keep redoing them until you complete it. That's the trouble. That is the trouble with that one, or some of them anyway, because some of them are going to be a bit more trickier. Yeah, so there it is. There is the next recording done for today. I hope you've enjoyed it so far. Apart from my last recording with probably some bits and pieces of the write-ins and bits and pieces that is a bit more blurry for you to see what they say. But once you play it on your own, or whatever, you know what it all says and what you're supposed to do with it and bits and pieces. But still, I'm just doing this game just to show you what to do and bits and pieces and have a bit of fun playing it, basically. But yeah, so there you go. I shall catch you sooner or later. Take care.